Welcome. This is the Living Hope Agency Call. My name is Josh Lockhart, and today we're going to be talking about 5 tips in building your insurance agency, right? So there's a lot of things that we talk about week to week: how to sell, how to do better in the home, how to do telesales better, and there's some great trainings and great content out there. But at the end of the day, there's many of us who came here not only to do that, but we also wanted to grow an agency. We wanted to create passive incomes for our family. And as much as I love the field, I love helping customers personally, that's not something that I wanted to be, running that schedule for the rest of my life. And so, of course, I wanted to build an agency, empower others. Just as somebody shared this with me, I'm so glad that they did, because FFL is the best business ever. And so, if you would, real quick, I just want to know who's all on the same page, right? Is your intention to grow an agency in FFL? Just type an A in the chat, or if I can see you throw a thumbs up so I know who has an intention to grow an agency. Okay. Some people come here and they just say, hey, I want to produce, leave me alone. And that's okay. No problem. But if you want to build an agency, the rest of this call is for you. I'm going to give you some lists, some things that, you might want to take down. I will warn you, all of this is painfully simple. Right? None of this is overly complicated. I think one of the big mistakes that we all make is we take something so simple and we put our ego into it. We put all of our smarts into it, and we just mess it up. Right? And so this business, we could sum it up into, there's only a couple things that we do, right? We buy leads of people who raised their hand and said, hey, I'm looking for life insurance. We call them and set an appointment. We go see them, or we set an appointment, talk to them on the phone. We help them get the insurance, and then you tell the world about it so you can build an agency. And that's about it. But again, we'll jump into it. I got 5 things for you. And these things are focused on not so much the acquisition of new agents, is so much building an agency, because there is a difference, right? We talk a lot about, hey, you can, recruit unlicensed and licensed agents, right? Social media, where do you find them? What do you say? And that's a great training, right? But once you get them in, then what is that like, right? Because you can bring a whole bunch of people on, and I've certainly been guilty of this myself. And you have this mass amount of people coming in the front door, maybe to start their test or to get going. And then you're like, where's the production, right? So if you've been around for any length of time, and somebody told you, hey, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to get my test done, pass the test in 14 days, get contracted, and then you're like, I haven't seen them. Where did they go? Right? That's the difference between recruiting and building. So that's what we're going to talk about, is building. All right. So number one on the 5 tips to build an agency. This is very simple. You have to decide that you're actually going to build an agency. You have to decide. Okay. So what do I mean? Now, we focus so much, we want to go out and, produce. We want to help a bunch of families. We have to take care of our families, and producing is money today, right? And what I see happening so often is, yes, we don't want to stop producing. We don't want to slow down helping families, but we literally forget to build the agency. We get to the end of the day and we set our 15 appointments. We made, some sales. We helped 5 families. We did all the stuff. We called the carrier. We sat on hold. We got the policy issued. We did everything we had to do. And the day went by and you did nothing to actually grow the agency, right? So building an agency is like farming, and you have to wait for the harvest. Producing is like hunting. You go out, you eat, you kill it, you eat it, you drag it home, and you sink your teeth. Right? So we love producing because we get paid today. And some of us desperately need to do that, is get paid today. Just, and that's why we love America, because we get paid today. But you have to decide, this is important to me. I'm going to make it a priority in everything that I do. So I'm not going to let a day go by or a week go by that I'm not going to do something about it. Right? So that's number 1. If you made the decision, type in the chat, decide. I've decided. We don't the whole thing, just decides, just fine, right? So, hey, that's important to me. You got to begin with the end in mind. I saw somebody post integrity. Great. You've decided, you said, okay, that's the goal. I'm going to work backwards. Now, maybe that's not the deal for you. Maybe you just you got to begin with the end in mind. Just pick a location. It doesn't have to be the end location. Just pick a location down the road that you're like, hey, I want to get to that point, right? I want to make so much money. I want to help so many agents. Like, you got to have some kind of target, or else you're going to wake up, look up a year from now, and you're like, yeah, I produced this, or maybe I'm not happy with my goals, but I'm not happy where I'm at in the agency. So you have to decide. Okay. Number two, all right, you got to make a list. Now, there's several kinds of lists that you're going to want to make, right? The first list is your what we call a DMO, right? A daily method of operation. What are you going to do every day to move the ball down the field? Okay. That could be, reaching out to people in your warm market to share what FFL is doing. Maybe they're not interested in selling. Maybe they know somebody. Maybe you haven't even decided that was an option for you. I'm not going to talk to people I know because we buy leads here. That's an oversight. I'm going to tell you, right? Because you don't know who is looking for a change, who, doesn't want to work where they want to work, has been watching you maybe, or hearing about your success, or whatever the case may be. So let's talk about what are some things that you could do every day to grow your agency. Okay. Well, the other kind of list you could make is make a list of all the people that that you think might be a good fit for FFL, or know lots of people, right? Like, maybe they're not a good fit, but they're an influential person, right? I heard this real estate training one time, and they were talking about how to find deals for their specific kind of real estate. And this was on Bigger Pockets, if anybody knows Bigger Pockets. And the guy goes, yeah, I just went to all the influential people and told them what kind of investment property I was looking for. And sure enough, one of them knew somebody that had an apartment complex for sale, right? So what if you just went to all the successful people that you knew would not be right for this? They would never talk to you, and just said, hey, I'm growing an agency. You know anybody that, is looking for a career change, wants to make more money, is a hustler, is organized, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The best kind of people to looking for are people who know how to win, but maybe haven't won in a while. Say it again. People that know how to win, but maybe haven't won in a while, right? So, like when I got started years ago in the insurance industry, right, I'd had some wins in life, but I was had a couple sideways years. I was looking for the next thing. So that could be a list that you make. And then you say, well, hey, every day I'm going to reach out to 2 of these folks in between appointments to, share what's going on. Hey, hey, Mark, I know you're super successful in the car business. I don't know if this would be right for you. I'm growing an insurance agency. Do you know anybody that, might be looking for a career change, et cetera, et cetera? If I send a video, would you watch it? That you say something like that and say, hey, every day I'm going to do 2 of those. Another daily method of operation is, hey, I'm going to post every day on my social media of choice. Okay. If you're on Facebook, start on Facebook. If you're not on Instagram, start on Instagram. If you're not on TikTok, you can start on TikTok. You're like, what in the world would I put on TikTok? Well, you could make a short story, 30, 60 seconds of your day, what went on, and put that out in the universe. Like, there's somebody out there that would be interested in hearing what you have to say, right? And you said, okay, today I'm going to post about my dial day. Tomorrow, I'm going to post about a customer success story. On Wednesday, I'm going to post about something else. And you write down a schedule of what you're going to post about, because if you don't, guess what'll happen? Nothing. You won't get anything done, right? So if you write the schedule out in advance of what you're going to post, when you're going to do it in your schedule. So like if you have, if you're like Logan and you have 30 appointments over the next 2 days and you don't even know when you're going to fit it in, right? You put it in there between, 5 and 6, I'm going to do this. Okay. So tonight, that's your homework, is write down what am I going to do every day? Who am I going to talk to? If it's social media, here's another thing a list you could make, right? Go find and add, I don't know, 50 licensed agents on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, you choose, whatever you're on, LinkedIn, that's fine too. It's all good. Go add them. And that's a new list, 50 of them. And then over the next week, reach out to them, say, hey, looks like you're crushing it. Have you heard of Family First Life? That's a good just opener, right? And then, so if you got 50 of them every day, reach out to 5 of them. In 10 days, you'll reach all 50 of them. That's, 50 new conversations. All right. So you got to make a list. If you don't have a list, it's not going to get done. All right. Number 3. This is this is all simple. You got to be an example of what you want your team to do. Okay. Now, your team, here's what I found. Okay. And if you're on a part of my team, you probably heard me say this a couple of weeks ago. What I found is your team will pick up on about half of your good habits and all of your bad habits, right? So who's got kids? Anybody got kids? Right? It's like you try to instill the best things and you slip a cuss one time and that's what they pick up on. Next thing you know, they're going to church and telling their Sunday school teacher how daddy dropped the S word. It's like, and that's just the one. Now, that didn't really happen to me, just so you know, but that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. So they're going to pick up on half of your good habits, right? So what are good habits in FFL? Starting dial day by 8 a.m., being on live dials, scheduling 30 appointments a week. Doesn't matter if you're telesales or in home, buying leads twice a week. These are all good habits. What are bad habits, right? Starting late, not resolving your leads, setting 27 appointments or 12 appointments, right? Letting chargebacks just go unattended, being inconsistent with your work week, right? You work really hard this week, but next week you're a ghost. You go on vacation and you watch all your team go on vacation. Now, I'm not saying never go on vacation, but you better be super, super careful when you go. And I certainly wouldn't advertise it, right? And what I found is whatever bad habits that you have, your team's going to do it, right? I can see teams that don't buy leads. The leader doesn't buy leads. The team doesn't buy leads. The team doesn't grow. Or they only use these special secretive leads. And so if those leads aren't available, the team doesn't buy any of the other types of leads and have success on the other types of leads, right? So don't pigeonhole yourself because of your bad habits. We all have them, right? So be the good example that you want to set for the people coming into the business, because whether you like it or not, they're looking at you, right? So a couple things that are the good habits, right? Set 30 appointments a week, right? That's a good habit, because since your teams, they're also, not only are they going to pick up on half of your good habits, they'll probably only do about half of what you do, at least at first, right? And so if you're setting 30 appointments, they might set 15, right? If you're helping 30 families a month, they might do 10, right? And so I'm sorry to say, but if you want to build an agency, you have to give up your right to be lazy. That's just how it is. It's the facts of the world. All right. So you got to be an example. Number 4, this is something I haven't heard talked about a lot, but it is even more important than being an example. Now, there's a lot of top producers in the world of FFL that are amazing producers. They crush it, they kill it, and they have little to no team to speak of. Now, this is not anything bad about them. I don't know what's going on, or maybe they just haven't decided to build an agency. I don't know what the deal is, but you can be the hardest worker. You can always be on the top of the leaderboard, but if no one sees you working, they're just going to assume that you have the secret leads, the secret words, the secret sauce, and that's why you're successful, right? If Greg is always crushing it and he's at the top of the leaderboard every single week, but I never see what he does and he never shares it, well, I just assume that he can't relate to me because I'm busy and I got kids and I got problems and I don't have the good leads, and my leads hang up on me and they make excuses and they don't answer the phone and they no-show me. And I know that Greg doesn't ever deal with that, and that's why he's so successful. So I'm not even going to try to be like Greg because I got problems and he doesn't. Greg's life is so easy. That's what people think, right? Now, so you have to be seen working. not enough to be working. You have to be seen working all the time. If no one sees it, it didn't happen. It didn't count, right? You said, hey, I set 20 appointments today. Did anybody watch you do it? It didn't happen. No one believes you. All right. So how do you be seen working? Well, on live dials. That's number one. That's the easiest place. If you do it in front of your team, then they can't. The whole thing is this, right? Everybody's trying to make an excuse of why they can't do this. We all do it. We all have them. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. But if I see all the time Logan setting all of his appointments and crushing it like he does, I'm like, well, Logan's great, but he's not like supernatural. I see him get hung up on and cussed out just as much as the next person. So it must just be hard work, right? And then you can only make the other conclusion of either I'm going to work hard and do this or I'm not. All the other excuses are off the table because I've seen Logan do it. All right. So you could, maybe have a local office, get your people together with you in the office. Social media, like the Living Hope chat, or maybe you have your own team chat or the Gloves Off chat. Are you active in the chat, right? Like, are you working today? Did you post about it? And you're like, well, I don't have to be that person. Hey, look at me. We're in business. Yes, you do. It's called marketing. Again, you've given up the option to be able to do that stuff if you want to build an agency. It is required. I wish it wasn't. It's just the way of the world in 2022, right? So be active in the chat, right? Chatting it up with other agents, posting about your day, taking a selfie so people know that you're working. Because if you want to get resented faster in this business, make an override off of somebody and you're not working. They will resent you. It will happen. I promise. I've seen it. And I don't want to be in that position. I'm terrified of that. Okay. Social media. Again, there's all these people out there. Maybe you have a small social media, big social media, right? We'll talk about that. But people that are maybe coming through class, they're hitting you up, they're spying on you, right? They're face stalking you or whatever. And if you don't have anything out there that you're actually working, they're like, well, this guy doesn't do anything. I'm going to come in and do anything. So I was a part of a company one time that all of the top income earners in the company were always posting how they were living the laptop lifestyle, how they were on vacation, how they were just living it up and had all this time freedom. And so what did everybody do? They act like the top people did. They had the laptop lifestyle, i.e. not working. They were at the pool. I can't work to the level I need to help 10 families plus a week at the pool, but everyone thinks that they can, right? Or like I was always going on vacation and being like, I love my business. It provides me all the time freedom. If you have all kinds of time freedom, you are not making any money because you are not working, right? So that just, or worse yet, it's like, hey, you're going to work 4-hour work week. Yeah, for sure. Or worse yet, it's like, hey, so awesome that you're making so much money, Mr. Top Earner guy, but I'm down here broke trying to figure it out. And I got to look at your boat and your vacation all the time. You barely even work. I can't stand you, right? And so show the work, show what you're doing, right? If you're making phone calls, make a post, do a story about making phone calls. If you set, 10 appointments a day and close 4 of them, post about that. Let people see what you're doing because they're going to replicate what you're doing. Okay. Be seen working. Don't be a secret agent, right? All right. And then number 5. Yes, this is recorded. Number 5, very, very simple. You got to hire staff. You got to hire people. Okay. You can't do this by yourself. You cannot grow this to the level that you want to without hired help. To think that you can is just putting undue pressure on you and your loved ones. Okay. And so, I was watching a video. Now this is an old principle, right? Anybody familiar with the story in the Bible about the 3 guys with the talents? All right. Well, I'm going to tell the story in a different way. I saw a video this week, and it was financial wisdom from a guy who works at Waffle House. So a great place. I know it's got a lot of credibility, right? And he's talking in this video, and I don't know if he owns it or if he just works behind the counter. And he says, hey, there's 3 things that you can do with money. All right. If you want to, there's only 3 things. Number 1, you can save it. Okay. You can save it. You can put it under the mattress, put it in the bank. We all know how inflation is dealing with that right now. And so that's option 1. Option 2 is you can spend it. And that's what we often do, right? We go out and we issue pay, where we help 7 families, and we go, hey, I got this extra money. I'm going to go and go on a vacation. I'm going to go buy this car, house, whatever the deal is. Or if you're in my house, a tree house, or my daughter wants me to buy Disney. So I'm working on that. It's going to take me a few policies to get there. But we buy stuff, and then, we have these liabilities. We don't have any money, and that's that, right? The third thing you can do is risk it. And we often times say, we invest, but I like how he chose the word risk, because that's really what it feels like, right? When you're growing a business, you can risk put money down on some leads so you can get a return, right? Now you have to work for that return. You can risk hiring somebody and maybe they do a bad job. You can risk putting money in a marketing campaign and maybe it doesn't work out, because it is risk. Now, save, spend, risk. There's only one of those that will outpace inflation. What is it? It's risk, right? You save it, it's going to sit there, it's going to dwindle. You spend it, it's gone, right? You're going to go buy a boat, and then, everybody knows what boat stands for, break out another 1,000. But if you risk it, then you can get a return. So what kind of people should you hire? Now, I think number 1, if you are producing and if you're not helping 20 families a month, I've said this, I'll say it 1,000 times, you need to get to 20 families a month ASAP. That's your first goal. You have to do that this month. 20 families a month. Why 20 families a month? Because that is enough for you to purchase leads, pay your bills, hire a staff person, and maybe take your spouse out to dinner or whatever else, right? Anything less, and you're not going to be able to do one of those, right? So you can do a couple of them, you just can't do all of them. So if you're helping 10 families a month, right? You can buy leads and pay your bills and have a little fun money, but you're going to be afraid when it comes time to hire that person, because you're like, oh gosh, what if I have a bad month? But if you're at 20 families a month, not only can you, but you have to, because if you don't, so anybody who's doing at least 20 families a month and you don't have at least a virtual assistant, you are crushing your future agency. The reason being is because you have to sit on hold with the carriers. You have to call your clients to let them know that they've been approved. If you're trying to retain your clients, maybe you're taking time to lick stamps and send out thank you cards, call people back, deal with, BS. And if you do all that and you help 20 families a month, you're going to look like my friend Mark and not have any hair. Love you, Mark. You're going to pull it out. It's going to be crazy. So let it go. Hire a VA, hire an assistant, hire somebody who can take that first thing off of your plate. So you don't have to call the carriers. You don't have to call your clients back to let them know this, that, or they want to update their payment and you have to sit on hold with the carrier. Let your staff person do that. They're going to send out thank you cards. They're going to digitize your files. Somebody asked me, how do you keep track of your customers? And I said, I don't know. My assistant does it. She's organized. I am not. And I didn't mean Michelle. We have an assistant, right? Now you can take that time and either go produce more, or now you actually have time to build your agency. Okay. Social media. Now they say, well, I have an assistant. Well, now you need to go hire somebody to help you recruit and or do social media. You're like, because I'm bad at social media. Now here's my struggle with social media. Like, I'm not bad at social media, but I forget to take time to go do social media, right? Like, oh man, I forgot to make some content. Oh man, I forgot to make the post. Oh man, this, oh man, that. And you end up making excuses. A day turns into a week turns into a month. And every week and month that goes by is 10 weeks that, of growth in your agency that you could have got, but you didn't because you're playing small, right? So if you're producing at a high level, again, being an example, you have the extra funds to put into the business so you can actually grow the agency to get where you want, to have the passive income, to live the life that you want, to help the people that you want, so you can actually follow through on the promises that you made to your friends and family. And for me, for my daughters, so I can get them they want a tree house, so I can buy a new house so we can get a tree house. Then we can go to Disney. You get the idea. Or you can just say, I'll get to it, and it never happens. All right, so that's it. That's the list. Ooh, Logan O'Brien. What's a good resize website to get VAs? Yes, Start Virtual. I believe it's startvirtual.com is the website. If anybody knows differently, post it in the chat. They're fantastic. Let me just, here's a mini commercial on them. I don't make anything from this, but we've had a VA for 1 year. The VAs are based in the Philippines. They work 30 hours a week for about $10 an hour. I think we pay after taxes $340 a week, $1,200 and some change a month. A, you need the tax write-off. B, I would not live my life as a producer in FFL without these people. Again, so when somebody, they get insurance, my VA calls them and lets them know they've been approved. Then she takes my scrap of paper where I've scribbled the client inventory and the profile. She puts it into a digital file for me, right? Then she sends out a thank you card. Then she schedules a time 2 weeks later to give them a call back to make sure their policy got to their house. She sits on the phone with all the carriers if something needs to be changed, fixed, updated. My pre-cancels, she calls my pre-cancels to save those, to sit on hold with the carrier on a 3-way call because they need to update their payment information. If something needs to be sent out to update a beneficiary form, she sends that to them, sends it to me. She sends me reminders every single day on which policies I need to pay attention to get pushed through. So I actually issue more of my policies because I have her managing me, which I need it, to make sure that I pay attention to these darn policies to help these people. Let's see, what else, right? She helps grow our social media, right? So, I mean, there's people that have assistants and then people that are just trying to live a hard life. That's just it. So, if you don't have some of these things in place, right, take the time tonight. Don't wait until tomorrow, right? Decide what's a good monthly, good question. What's a good monthly budget for staff, right? I would say like step one is the assistant, right? It's like $1,200 a month, right? Once you're helping 20 families a month, you can do that. Some people, in the company, they went out right away and they hired a contractor to do contracting, a recruiting person. They hired several people. Now, if you have the financial wherewithal and resources to do that, knock yourself out. If not, go produce and scale up, right? Like you want to go all out, but you don't want to get over levered either. So there is a balance. You will find it, right? If you go too far, your bank account runs dry and you have to work it off, and that's fine. I think that's a healthy risk, right? If you go out and hire a staff person, you're like, I don't know if I can do this extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I just need to go and write, 2 policies. That might make you work harder, right? It's all about, being accountable and sometimes putting more responsibility on yourself and what you think you can bear, and then bear it. That's how you create a strong person. So number 1, decide. Number 2, make a list. Number 3, be an example for those around you. Number 4, be seen working. Do not work by yourself. Let people see you doing it. Let them see you mess up. Let them see you have the wins. Let them see you have all of it. Because then they'll be like, you're human and I can relate to you and I'm willing to do what you're doing. And then number 5, commit to making your first hire if you haven't done so. If you've already got 1, figure out how to have 2. All right. Well, perfect, guys. Appreciate you all. Any last questions before we get out of here? All right, guys. Let's have a great week. Rock and roll. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next week. Take care.